Okay, so we've got a really fun session that's coming up. We've got 5-minute pitches. So we've got 7 startups. They're looking for investors. They're looking for partners in the industry. Some really exciting products that we want you to hear from. And I've got Ted and David back on stage. They were with us earlier. David Scholander and Ted, thank you for joining us and you're going to be over there, aren't you?
Yes,
hopefully we're going to have some
there.
light. Good, we've got some light. So there are judges. They're going to keep everybody on time, 5 minutes each. And I think what's important is if you've got the app, remember we emailed everybody. You would have got an email from Sally Mawaha on your emails to download the AHIC 2019 app, or it gives you instructions with the password and everything, because we want you all to vote. So we're going to give a nice certificate at the end of this. We want you to vote for the winner. And I'd like you to vote. I'm not biased here because I've got my son also pitching, but there we go. I won't say any more. But if you can, on the app, we've got a voting technology, I believe. Let me just check. If you go to the app and then you go to ask a question, you will see a list of the presenters. And if you tap ask here to ask a question, then you'll see those that are pitching, and then you can vote. So we'd like you to do that. And now I'm going to hand over to Ted and David.
Thank you very much. This will be fun. I hope you all enjoy it. So this will be quick, 5 minutes for each presenter. We have 6 presenters. And then Ted and I might have a question or 2 for each one when they're finished, and then we'll move right on to the next one. This is always a lot of fun to hear from the startups and to hear about the innovative products that they're developing for our industry. So are we ready over there? Move those chairs off the stage, and I think we're ready to go. And our first presenter is from a company called Hotel Swaps. Preben Vestam is the founder and CEO. It's all yours.
Thank you. Will we get the slides up here, or I do it like this?
Okay, we didn't start your 5 minutes yet, so don't worry.
Okay.
All right.
So, how many in here knows Dragon's Den? We have, yeah. I feel now this is Dragon's Den on steroids because of this audience and who is here. I'm going to talk to you about Hotel Swaps. Hotel Swaps is my passion, and I have now 5 minutes to tell you about it. It's 30 seconds per slide, so please listen carefully. Hotel Swaps is the world's first hotel room exchange program, which allows owners and operators of high-quality hotels to exchange unused rooms among one another based on our reservation system and our digital currency. It's almost like the sharing economy, but positively for the hotel industry. We share that part of the inventory which does not get used. And our vision is to become that digital currency which manages all trades within the hotel industry. It's quite simple. Hotels, they earn hotel coins by accommodating other people from the network within their hotels. When they have earned their hotel coins, they can transfer them to whomever they want, whether it's family or whether it is staff, but it is transferred to an individual, and the individual who then receives the hotel coins can go back into the system and do reservations within the network of hotels which are participating. To make it simple for the hotels, we do all the pricing within hotel coins. We price all the hotels, put them into categories, 7 of those, and then we give their location a seasonality, and that determines the number of hotel coins they earn per room night. So why do they participate, these hotels? First of all, for business travel savings. So why pay for a hotel room in the other end when you can pay with the hotel coins that you have earned from having inbounds into your own hotel? Executive employee staff benefits, so as an extra bonus when you have met your targets. Increased in ancillary services and revenues in ancillary services. Our members spend $270 per night in other stuff within the hotel, whether it is extra room nights or food and beverage and spa treatments and so on. Operators. So we have some service providers also who accept hotel coins as payment for their services, whether it's recruitment services or even tickets to hotel events. And the last one I just want to mention is also hotel staff rates. We allow the hotels to sell for cash their hotel coins to other members in the system. And so we allow the hotel staff to become members also. We call them guest members, and they can buy the coins from the hotels, which have too many of them. And by that, they can buy them at a rate which is approximately 50% of what a room rate is out there in the OTAs, which means that it becomes also a system like Marriott and Hilton have, and so on, for their staff, that they have access to rates around the world, and this can now work also for independently owned hotels. Our revenue streams, they come from membership fees. So we get membership fees from the hotels who joins the club. We also have reservations fees, and we get fees also from supplier members. We have today grown to over 440 hotels, mainly in Europe because we're based out of London. The hotels that we work with are mainly independently owned, independently managed, high-quality hotels. Many of them are members already of the associations like Leading Hotels of the World, Small Luxury Hotels of the World, as you know them. We also have smaller hotel groups, which allows, and we also have partnerships. For instance, Design Hotels have a partnership with us, so 100 of their hotels are in the system. Growth in hotel members, growth in reservations, and also a number of hotel coins spent. You can see we have already started on a good trajectory. The market potential is rather large. 200,000 hotels we expect could participate in this program. 1.7 billion rooms in those hotels stands empty every year. And we expect about 5 million potential guest members from the hospitality industry is out there who can participate. 3 people in the executive team, or 2 executives and 1 non-executive. Myself, over 30 years of experience in the industry, also in financial services and technology. Alkis is out of EHL and has worked with Kempinski, and then Jonathan supports us very well as an investor and a non-executive director. What are you being offered? As a small summary, I'm down to 0, so I have to go to the next one. What are the returns? We are looking for £1.5 million in investment, approximately 18% of the total shares. And if you do that, then we expect to give you close to 30% returns over 5 years. And that's it. Next steps. This is where you can find more about us.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
When was the company created, and what sort of take-up rate? I know you talk about the potential marketplace, but I know you've got a lot of hotels, but what's the take-up rate that you've experienced in the time you started the business?
Yeah. We started launched back in 2014. It took about a year to build the technology because it's all proprietary technology. And then we started growing the membership. The first 10, 15 hotels are very hard to get in to the club, but then more and more it takes over. We have also spontaneous applications now coming through, member get member. People hear about the system out there. I think it's a matter of just having a discussion with an owner of a hotel, and very, very rarely we have had independently owned hotel owners turning the offer down if we have the time to have that interaction. Because at the end of the day, you are earning an alternative value on an asset that you have already paid for and which is not being used today.
Is there a blockchain component, and is Hotelcoin a cryptocurrency as well, and part of your investment strategy?
It is not a blockchain technology because we don't need that. We want to keep a centralized ledger. We want to know who owns the hotel coins because we want this to be a club for the hospitality industry alone. So when our hotels are joining the club, they know that it's not going to cannibalize any of their, so to say, traditional revenue streams that they have through their other channels. It is purely the club of hoteliers and the people who works in the hotel industry who can participate. And that we can control by not making a decentralized ledger.
All All right, thank you, Prabin. Thank you for
Okay.
going first. Good job.
Thank you.
Next, we have a company that has been around a little while, TripTease, and this is a rather provocative title. They're Chief Tease, Charlie Osmond. Charlie?
Thank you. This weekend, I flew into Dubai from North Korea. And when I went to North Korea, this is the hotel I wanted to stay at, the Royogang Hotel. It's magnificent, 105 stories. They even have an LED display at night now. It looks like the Burj Khalifa. That's the outside. The inside of the hotel, however, looks like this. It's completely empty. And you guys are hotel investors. And so I imagine you know that a great outdoors, a great exterior, and a poor interior doesn't work. You need the interior, the exterior to work in harmony. Hotels are suffering the same challenge online. They have a number of systems that are just not working together. They're not working in harmony. So whilst the consumer journey online wants to be all joined up, me as a consumer, I want that sort of ongoing joined up experience. The hotel systems, which operate independently and not together, actually deliver a really poor experience. The data is held in these different systems in silos, and they're just not talking to one another. And as a result, it's really hard for hotels, as you know, to drive direct bookings against the might of the OTAs, who have all their systems working in harmony. So our innovation is actually bringing these two things together. The tools and the experience of the guest in the acquisition channels like Google and TripAdvisor, the data from those systems coming into the experience on the hotel website, and the data from the hotel website experience being used to drive smarter acquisition, smarter advertising spend on Google, TripAdvisor, and other places. So let me be specific to give you two examples of what that means. So for example, here are 3 different people who arrive on Google, and you're being asked by Google, how much do you want to spend on advertising to these people right now because they're interested in your hotel? Well, you might know that the person on the left is from Paris, the lady in the middle with her family is from Hong Kong, and the guy on the end is from London, and that might make you bid slightly different amounts for them. But when you know that they've visited your hotel website different numbers of times, carried out different searches, and have very different behavior on your website already, then in fact you realize that the woman in the middle is worth 10 times more to you than the one on the left. And so you should be bidding 10 times more. Today, for hotels around the world, that doesn't happen. They bid the same amount for all those guests. And that's what you can change when you get these systems working better together. Another example, the one time when you should not be advertising on Google, when you should not be spending money to appear in the Google Hotel Ads search, is when you're being undercut. And yet, what do hotels do every single day? They either have that advertising on or they have it off. They don't have it on only when they're not being undercut. Here is a hotel paying to advertise that you shouldn't book direct with them. It's like crazy. And that's what we change when you join up these systems and make them work better. So TripTease, we have 5 years of conversion optimization. We've created a new category. We have thousands of hotels. We track more guest behaviors and more guest journeys on hotel websites than any other company on the planet. And we do that to deliver personal experience on the hotel website. And now we're using it and using the data we have from those guest behaviors to take that data off to make the acquisition side work better together. We do that by giving every guest that we ever see on the hotel website a score. We score them on what's the value, what's the likelihood they are to convert, how much money they're likely to spend in-house, and how much should we be bidding for them. And then we're also looking at their trip. And based on that trip and whether it's in parity, we can also make another decision about, again, how much we should bidding and what their score is. And as a result of this, what we've seen is that we're able to drive far better return on investment for hotels in their acquisition spend. Our starting point has been Meta, but obviously we're going to be expanding beyond that because the market opportunity is enormous. You know, hotels are spending $34 billion to drive bookings of people who are online. At the moment, far too much of that is going to OTA commissions, but we're tapping into an enormous opportunity. So why should you invest in us? Well, we have a really strong customer base. We've already got a set of data that nobody else on the planet has, and we can now use that to have a much bigger impact for hotels by driving smarter acquisition. We've got enterprise-grade analytics, a proven team in the last 5 years. We've grown to 130 people working with over 15,000 hotels. And we have incumbent investors who right now are keen to invest too. So the people who know our business best, who invest in software companies like us all the time, are saying they want to give us more money, and they've just asked us to find investors with more hotel experience, and that's where you come in. But the real reason why you should invest is because what we're doing is helping reduce and prevent the commoditization of hotels online. If hotels continue to have disparate systems, they will continue to be beaten by OTAs. And if that carries on, then we're all going to be reduced to becoming just a price on a pin on a map. And hotels lose their ability to own their digital customer, to bid the right amount for them, and to really differentially price and make more money. Thank you.
First question. Are the hotel clients you have, are they independents, or are you running into resistance when you try and go after the big hotel chains? So can you give us some sense of the clients you have, and are they of independent, or are they you're getting some traction in the big hotels?
So we don't target the really large guys because they do things differently, different scale. They have teams internally of 100 digital people. So we work with clients from Hyatt to Emaar to independent properties with 50 rooms. I guess our core target tends to be hotels with 10 to 20 hotels, so small chains.
How scalable is your business? Does it take a lot of human oversight to make this really work, or is it mostly an automated process?
No, it's all, I mean, all the bidding at the moment, the way that hotels bid for advertising online is they analyze stuff once a week or maybe once a month as a human. What we're doing is our systems are running automated analysis and automated bidding every second. So it's completely scalable.
Thank you. Great job.
Thanks.
Next up, we have HotelFlex, Fergus Patton, head of EMEA, and they say they're they provide new revenue from unsold rooms. Fergus?
Thank you. So 5 minutes, 5 slides. Let me start by telling you the problems that we solve at HotelFlex. So one is from the guest perspective, and the other is from the hotel side. And what we've seen is that when you solve these two things together, you can both improve the guest experience while also increasing revenue for the hotel. So first thing we know is that guests hate traditional check-in and check-out times. There's no personalization and there's no flexibility at all. So I want you to spare a thought for this guy here. He's stuck and he's waiting. And I think we've probably all been there before. Yesterday, it happened to be me. So I flew in from Barcelona on an overnight flight. I was traveling with my wife, who's 6 months pregnant. If anyone's ever done that, they realize that everything becomes more difficult. We arrived, as most long-haul flights do, into Dubai at 7 a.m. It was 28 degrees already. I'm from Scotland. That doesn't make sense. And so what we realized is we're really in a hurry to get across town and get into our room. She wants to relax, and I want to get there and start doing some work. So we finally get to the hotel. We join yet another queue. We arrive at the front desk and are told, sorry, sir, your room isn't ready yet. Come back at 3 p.m. And I thought to myself, that is exactly why we started HotelFlex. Because if you look at the hotel perspective, we know hotels don't run 100% occupancy. Particularly in this region, there's seasonality, there's shoulder periods, there's all sorts of things to compete with. And despite having all the distribution channels in the world, you cannot sell all of your rooms all of the time. So, but just because you can't sell full room nights, it doesn't mean you can't make some revenue from these rooms. So what we do is we match up that unsold inventory with your guests who are willing to pay for an early check-in or a late checkout. And in doing so, we can help you to solve probably the biggest challenge in this region, which is this elusive RevPAR growth. So look, there's people better qualified than me to talk about this, but this market is characterized by huge supply increase, which then has caused ADRs to fall, and then people are then forced to go and look for this different guest profile, which tends to come from a different source market, which is lower value. So if you look on the right, this is all manifested in the RevPAR. If you look at the 10-year average, you've got the good years above the line and the bad years below. So you can see that today we're around 30% below. So let's see what we can do to help push that RevPAR back up. So the first thing we do is we analyze your room stock, each room category, and look for opportunities to offer an early check-in or a late checkout. So for example, on a Sunday night, if you've got 20 rooms just sitting there empty, demand in the city is too low, you know that you could fulfill 20 early check-ins on a Monday morning. So obviously, if there's no inventory available, we don't send any messages to guests because we don't want to offer something that we can't fulfill. However, if there is availability, then we automatically send an email or an SMS to a guest the day before arrival or departure with one clear, simple call to action. So we say, look, we've got a small number of rooms available. Would you like an early check-in? They can then click through, open the booking flow in their browser, which you can see there. They click the call to action and choose their arrival or departure time, agreeing to pay a specific price based on the number of hours that they've booked. As a general guide, guests will pay about 25% of their room rate for a 7 a.m. arrival. Bear in mind that this is also all automated to this point. You haven't had to do anything at all. You haven't had to upload rates, have a communication back and forth with the guest. You just wait and collect the money when the guest arrives at the front desk. So why not? Well, there's zero impact on operations. We only use rooms that are already clean and inspected by housekeeping. It's a free plug-and-play integration with the PMS, which we look after. So there's no integration costs or anything like that to worry about. And we only charge a commission based on realized revenue. So obviously your ROI is guaranteed. We take all the risk there. So let's just close 20 seconds to look at a quick example. We work with the Gulf Hotel Group. Gulf Bahrain is a 5-star property with 465 keys, rooms, suites, and apartments. Last month we delivered 172 conversions, which is $2,700. When you look at that net of our commission, that's $5 of revenue per room per month. And then when you gross that up to look at the sort of profitability, it's the equivalent of selling 50 extra room nights a month.
Thank you. So you talked mostly about early arrivals. What about late checkouts? Do you communicate with people in-house about that?
Yeah, that's correct. It's the same process. So someone would receive it's basically receiving a push notification while you're in-house. We don't have to do it in every hotel, so we have the option of doing one or the other, but the feedback is that people are very happy with that, and it's just a much more efficient way of hotels of dealing with this.
How do you know how many offers to push out? Because a lot of people must just not respond at all, right?
Yeah, so we're looking at what's available, and trying to maximize that. So we reach as many guests as possible, and we want to sell. We obviously take a little bit of a safety stock so that we don't oversell. But when you look at the numbers and you look at a certain conversion rate, then you can count back. And what we do is, if we were to offer, say, 20, or we message 25 guests, sell all 20, the last 5 guests would see that it was sold out, so that they can't double book.
How many PMSs do you integrate with? And the second thing is the communication to the guest done by your technology or through the hotel as via, say, maybe an SMS or WhatsApp?
Yeah, so it's done by us on behalf of the hotel, the communication. And in terms of PMSs, if it's property-based, then we can integrate with it and then selected other PMSs as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have Hotel Coin, Rana Mukherjee, the founder and CEO. This is decentralized hotel exchange and borderless hotel currency. Rana?
Hello, good evening. So that's a Hotelier Mart is our hotel booking platform, and it's today we are live already, a version 1.01. That was the Forbes which asked us the question, could Hotelier Coin be an answer to revamp the hotel industry? So let's see how we're going to do that. Hotelier Coin is a borderless hotel currency, and that's what we are trying to solve a few of the industry challenges. This is what's the market is about. Keep an eye on the lower one where Expedia revenue for 2018 was $11.2 billion. But that's their revenue, which is 15 to 20% of the commission. but their gross booking is 99 billion. So that's a transaction. Keep in mind, credit card company made 3 to 5% of 99 billion from that transaction, right? So let's go to the next one. These are the pain points, and few of the pain points, we are not solving it all, but there are few things where we are a blockchain power company, first of all. High booking fee, we all know. Transaction fees, we know, which usually gets, no one talk about it. Loyalty point redemption, which cannot be monetized. I want to add a bit more in this. Now I start traveling with Accor, so I have few points with Accor, few with Marriott's, few with Hilton. But none of them, if I don't have enough points, I can't stay in the hotel room. So here what we are trying to do is, we are replacing loyalty points with loyalty coins. So hang on, I'm going to talk about the coins, how we're going to do that. There's no comprehensive loyalty program. Look at the airline business. There is Skytrack, right? There is a Alliance. There are different brands. You can stay in different place. You can use different hotel. But if I have a loyalty points, I can only stay with the Marriott or with the Accor, but you can't share the coins or points. B2B, that's a 70% of the hotel business, which is 60 to 40%. Again, lengthy payment terms, data security, we'll talk about it, endless channels, fraud reviews, and freelance activities, which few we'll talk about. So who we are and what we are doing, we are the first time hotel room night tokens will be traded as a commodity, which is backed and traded with ask and bid option. Again, I say, if any one of you have bought Bitcoins, you're going to realize how exchange is. So token are backed with a room night. Marriott token, Hilton tokens, and so on. You can ask and bid. So we are replacing vouchers with token. We're replacing manual or one-on-one negotiation with ask and bid. And we are replacing contracts with smart contracts. B2C, as we said, loyalty points are replaced with loyalty coins, and coin can be monetized for a first time. Here, what we are doing is, from every transaction, let's say it's $100, our commission charge is 12. From 12%, we share the commission. We give 4% to the traveler. Any hotel directly contracted with us gets 4%, and we keep 4%. So the entire platform is built in very holistic way. Everybody needs to win. And hotelier coins definitely enable the entire platform. So that's our decentralized hotel room exchange. Right now, we are on the beta version. If you see the snapshot, which is hotelcoins.com, which is a decentralized exchange at this point of time. So traditional voucher system is replaced with hotel tokens. Legacy contracts are replaced with smart contract and ask and bid option. So we are not launching this now for next 3 months, because first thing we'll launch is a centralized token, centralized exchange, because with centralized, it's easy to use, but decentralized is the future, because then all your asset, which is the tokens, are saved in a decentralized form, which can never be hacked. B2C, so today you go to hoteliermart.com, you can book the platform, and every time you book, you get 4% cash back in hotelier coins. And the more the cash back we give to you, the value of the coin goes up, because there are only limited amount of hotelier coin, and hotelier coin sitting on the Ethereum platform. Definitely. And guess what? You can hire city chefs in our platform as well. Verified city chef. There's an Airbnb, there are kitchens. The kitchens are not being used. You can hire that. And nevertheless, city host as well. So that's who we are. And this is just a glimpse. Please see me in person. We'll talk more about cryptocurrency and how the blockchain will change our business. Thank you.
I have a question for you. Essentially, you're saying that you're going to try and disrupt the OTAs. Is that what you're saying?
No, we are not disrupting anybody. We are actually enabling every single person to, it's very holistic, right? So They will be there because they have the space. We will be there, and we are giving more power back to the standalone hotels to stand up to anybody else, right? Because internet will not be the way it is today. We are talking about 5 years from now, because internet will change as well.
Do you have your own PMS, or are you looking to try and integrate this solution with the traditional PMSs that are in the marketplace now?
We have 170,000 hotels right now, the content. In 45 days, we have around 800,000 and the airlines as well. So it's connected with the channel manager, and the channel manager connected with various PMS.
Are you planning an ICO, and do you plan to raise funds through the cryptocurrency, or is that separate from your fundraising?
A year back, we wanted to do an ICO. When the market was hot, I used to own lots of cryptocurrency. And then we said, we have a 27% team. We start building, and we realized we don't need money anymore to build it. So we build it, we are ready. And yes, how are we going to raise money? Hotelier coin is there. So the more the coin gets traded, that coin actually functions our platform. We'll be listing in month of August, and that's the time actually you all should own. But you can't buy it, you have to earn it. So that's why we are trying to be more, that cryptocurrency is, which is backed with a demand, not only where you can buy and sell.
Great, thank you very much.
It's a pleasure,
Nice job.
thank you.
Just to remind everybody, at the end we'll be voting. So if you haven't figured out on the app, take a look at it. Go to ask a question. Don't vote yet because you haven't heard them all. And I think unless they removed it, the first one is a no-show, a company called Hackaboo. So we won't. Don't vote for that one. You haven't heard about it. Next up, we have Sequential. Another familiar name, Oliver Worsley, the CEO and co-founder. The description is personal skin care for the spa industry. Ted and I are tech people, so I don't know what we're going to do with this, but you please go ahead.
So our environment and our DNA defines our skin. Take control and let your skin live. My name's Oliver, and I'm a founder of Sequential Skincare. We provide a solution to personalized skincare. What we realized at Sequential is that the market is quite staggering at over 130 billion. There are multiple brands, but there's a lack in product differentiation, growth, and profitability. We also realized there's a huge amount of consumer doubt in the products that they're using. When we spoke to consumers, we found that 15% lacked trust in the brand. We also found that up to 40% were doubtful about the efficacy of their current skincare product. So there's a loyalty and customer retention that we're trying to address here. What we also found was that 85% were looking for a customized solution. And the current solutions for identifying the right products either lacks this completeness, they're expensive, or they're difficult to consume. So what we did at Sequential is we designed a polymer-based face mask, and this binds to your skin for a few minutes. You take it off, we analyze the genetics and the microbiome, which is the collection of bacteria on your skin. This is a complete and validated process where it is easy and non-invasive. Importantly, other competitors use certain invasive processes or even just using a saliva test. We then create from this, we create a skin report by data profiling correlation. And this is a consumer-friendly report. We also go back and revalidate when they come back and use the mask. So the microbiome is really important. You may have heard of it before, but suffice to say that the skin microbiome has only recently attracted interest, and especially in cosmetic companies, and they're now putting prebiotics and probiotics in their skincare. So it's very recent. And just one example is that, as you can see on the right-hand side, this is a paper published in the top journal in Science. There are 3 clusters here, as you can see. Each dot represents a single skin microbiome. And what you notice is that on the left-hand side, these are actually from highly polluted, populated cities such as Beijing. So this could be her environment, for example, this could be his environment, and this could be your environment. So why are we here? Why am I here? Obviously, you heard a lot of hotel-related propositions. What we hope to do is work with beauty spas and clinics in hotels. This will increase consumer traction, upsell of their own products and services, and gives them the option to personalize skincare for their consumer. Ultimately, for Sequential's value, we're collecting this database in which we can then make our own personalized products. So for Sequential, the business model is generating revenue from selling these masks through these hotel spas, collecting the data, and then in year 3 onwards, we hope to license out this data and or develop our own product in-house. Where do we see ourselves compared to others? Well, there's imaging, there's questionnaires, there's also genetic-based and microbiome-based now solutions. However, there's a lack, as I say, of completeness and accuracy, and we believe that we offer the most consumer-friendly approach to do that. And again, this is a few competitors that you might recognize, 23andMe, I'm sure some of you are familiar with. However, there's a certain lack of affordability. Some aren't skin sensitive. We offer genetics and microbiome, which is the environment, as well as we believe this can create a reoccurrence in customers. This is way more comprehensive than the other competitors. So where are we to date? Well, we have raised 200,000 in grant money. We're an early stage company as compared to a lot of the other amazing companies you just heard. We've done our first human study, and we have also gone and done 2 studies, one in Asia at the premium clinic SW1, and one in Europe at a well-known cosmetic company, Natura Bissé. We've paid for this ourselves in order to retain some of this control and data ourselves. But we're currently looking for seed investment, so that's why really I'm here today, and I've been speaking at a few other conferences. We're also looking at getting our own private lab space and developing Sequential as a brand. What we see, so the co-founder, is myself and Albert, who's also joining me on the expert side on genetics. And we're also, we have a number of advisors that are looking at the business and science model. So where we see ourselves is to develop not only just for the cosmetic industry, but also health and disease. Skin conditions affect everyone, and the microbiome is related, and we want to address that with our clinics eventually. Thank you very much for listening.
So do you see other markets? Are you looking at dermatologists and other things besides the spa industry, or perhaps getting endorsements from dermatologists, the medical
Yeah, it's a great question. We are looking at a number of different channels. I think one beauty about the hotel industry is that what you can have is they come in, so on their first evening at the spa of this hotel, they come in and we take their sample. The next day, we then have the recommendations ready for them, and that's based on their genetics and microbiome. But we're also looking at different channels. So eventually, we would like to go direct to consumer and apply this. But also, we're looking at this stage, clinics and also department stores, so they can offer this in their shops.
Do you, after you do the analysis of individual skin, do you provide any guarantees with that in respect of if the client then takes up your product set?
We haven't looked at kind of specifically at that yet. One interest for us is that we're not just looking at your genetics, which is a fixed one-time only thing. The microbiome is always changing. So what we're hoping is that we can do some validation on a greater level. We've done a small amount now, but hopefully we can do an increased number of validations where they come back and we see that the product is working correctly for them as they go along.
Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have 2 more. Next up is Purple Dragon. Martin Quinn is the non-executive chairman, and this is the world's best family club. Martin?
Thank you. Shari Mars, the founder of Purple Dragon Play, set up the business because she felt it was very difficult for families to find places where they could spend quality time together, particularly in large cities. So she found there were great places for adults that hated kids and great places for kids that hated adults. As well as that, the club activities were spread across the city, so families were spending way too much time traveling in a car, stuck in traffic, going from one place to the other. So she felt she wanted to help families win back time and reconnect. So what is Purple Dragon? Purple Dragon is a membership club for families with younger children, providing a learning and play environment where they can have fun and spend quality time together. So currently we have 2 clubs, both in London, one in Chelsea and the other in Putney. And the flagship Chelsea club is 15,000 square feet and was full 6 months after opening. And we've had a membership waiting list ever since. So who are our members? Well, our members are high net worth and very high net worth families who appreciate quality experiences, good service, security, and want the best for their kids as they're growing up. We're right at the top of the market with a family membership of 5 costing around £14,500. And we have a retention, year-on-year membership retention of over 80%. Our members come from all around the globe, with actually 15% based here in the Gulf region. So we have all the activities under one roof, helping families win time back. And with over 100 different activities every week, the kids can cook up a storm in our MasterChef kitchen or create the latest Picasso masterpiece in the art room, or simply splash about in our swimming pool. So there is another benefit is there is an educational aspect to our activities, which are underpinned by Montessori principles. So it fosters in the children resilience, independence, teamwork, and confidence. So the next slides, you'll see some quotes from our members, and we're hoping to inspire the children of our members to be future world ambassadors, to be future astrophysicists, or even marine biologists, pop singers, future Pulitzer Prize winners, famous costume designers, and even future Formula One world champions. But it's not just about the kids. We also want to provide an environment for the adults as well, where they can do some work, socialize, relax. And we also believe in healthy eating, so we have very good food offerings. So we want to build on the success of our UK business and the strong Gulf demand by finding partners to help us grow our presence in the Gulf region. So we're looking, we provide the IP, the processes, systems, and run the clubs, while our partners own the local business. And we work off a license fee and a share of revenues, and the rest goes to the partner. So we're looking to expand primarily our top 2 targets are Dubai and Abu Dhabi, where we're looking to open clubs of around 20,000 square feet, costing about 6 million total investment each to fit out. And we believe we can deliver a 1.5 to 3 year payback. So not only, if you partner with Purple Dragon, not only do you earn great returns, but you can help inspire potentially the next future leaders, creative geniuses, and phenomenal athletes while having fun. Thank you.
Do you see these Purple Dragon establishments being built within a hotel, or are you looking for investors who are looking for strong return on investment?
The 2 current clubs are not in hotels. One is in a high-quality mixed-use development and was actually a key anchor in terms of driving sales for that development. So we're looking at probably, if you look at the locations where we're located in London, there are kind of areas where high net worths are located and living. As I said, it's difficult for people living in city centres to find quality places to go and spend time with their kids.
So are these your places geared to people who live in the area, or are you looking to create an environment for people who come to London for a month maybe and are looking for a quality experience with themselves and their children?
Both. So we have actually members from the Gulf who are over and back on a year basis, but quite often in the summer months, they will spend a couple of months in London and hang out at the club. We also have members, obviously, in the local neighborhoods who will come and play at the club, and we also have a membership scheme. One of our pricing schemes is for what we call out-of-towners, so people who may be located slightly outside the city centre but come in and are looking for a quality place to spend with their kids.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right, one more. Last up is Red Tea Group. And we finally have a lady presenting. Thank you. This is Tamsin Nugent, the founder. And the description we have is digital art procurement for luxury hospitality. Please.
That's right. Thank you for having me. So my name is Tamsin Nugent, and I am the founder of Red Tea Group, a company I started in 2004 in Beijing as an art gallery, but it grew to incorporate an art fair and a music company. I've worked in consultancy the entire time up to now, whether that's to individuals or corporates or on commercial projects. I've been responsible for placing artwork in hotels such as the JW Marriott Beijing, Grand Hyatt Beijing, and Middle House in Shanghai. I'm here today to tell you about how much more efficient the art procurement process can be for luxury hospitality. As a room of esteemed and experienced professionals, you may or may not be involved in the art procurement processes for your hotels. However, this affects us all because it affects the bottom line. If you increase efficiency, you can decrease spend. And current art procurement practices are not efficient. Let me tell you about a project I did in Shanghai. I was brought in last minute to fix the problems. An artist wasn't painting the right thing. I needed to get the right commission done and printed 200 times to hang in hotel rooms in 10 days. I have seen the inefficiencies and the complexities of the problems in art procurement, and I'm often brought in last minute to fix these problems. Now, whether you know that or not, you're paying for it. So wouldn't it be great if we could eliminate these inefficiencies and inaccuracies and decrease spend? Sound good? I agree. So I set about solving this problem and came up with 6 key pain points that every single art procurement process meets at some point. Price, of course, imperative. Aesthetics, the cornerstone of great design. Size and medium is the difference between something looking and feeling good on a wall or not. We all need access to it, and we all need something quickly. So taking all of this into account, I came up with the biggest innovation in art procurement so far, and it is Red Tea Multiples. We buy original artworks, but also the license to manipulate them on behalf of our clients. So you can crop a section of an original to create a completely bespoke work. In close-up, we can create beautiful prints across multiple spaces, such as hotel rooms. We can create unique collections across spaces like spas with continuity between the artwork because they were all born from the same original. Or we can do great wow factor pieces for lobbies or other major areas. But this is luxury, so you need more. We work with amazing artists. We want your work to be current as well as compatible. We have exclusive licensing because we own the artwork. No one else has access to it. We work in limited edition, so when the edition is sold out, your competitors can't have access to the same imagery. It's entirely flexible, so if your design changes, so can your art. And it's online. You can access it any time of day or night, anywhere in the world. A little bit on our artists. This is a small snapshot of just 4 of them that we work with, but so to show you some of the diversity of the styles. But Tony Scott and Hu Ching Wu are already highly coveted in this space, and you can see their work in hotels such as Four Seasons, Park Hyatts, Grand Hyatts, and Swire Hotels, to name a few. So how does it work? We're building an entirely digital platform that this whole process will be done on, from selection to creation to detailing up to framing and then ordering. We're also very aware that a lot of time is spent on proposals and approvals. So we've made it really easy to extract contact sheets of entire art directions. So it's easy to put in front of key decision makers, such as yourselves, to get quick approvals. You can export JPEGs, So you put them into renders before you've made any commitments and see what they'll look like. And of course, all the work that is made on the platform is saved on the platform, so it's really quick to access it should you need to order a new print if any is damaged, or make further edits if the design changes, or to just draw from and look at your previous work that you've done because it might be relevant for something you're working on now. So it's easy to see that Red T Multiples offers unprecedented efficiency in the customization and procurement process. But let us show you. Let us work on your next art direction. Connect us to your art people now, today, and we'll save you money tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you find that artists are resistant to the manipulation of their art?
That's the, I'm always asked that. No, on the contrary. I work with artists who are often working in the hotel space and working on commissions. And they would rather work with us because working on commissions, you might do 10 before you get it right, but you're only being paid for one. And with us, we buy their work, so they get the sale for one piece, but then they get a royalty on all of the prints thereafter. So they prefer it.
And they're not afraid that the buyer is going to sort of screw up their painting and make it ugly. I suppose there must be a certain type of art that it works for and a certain type that it doesn't, right?
Well, yeah, we're working largely in the abstract space because it lends well to the concept. And the artists we work with don't have any problems with that because it's all very controlled and regulated within our system.
So if you, for example, traveling around the world and you see a particular artist that you really like, do you set yourself up as the party that would then go and negotiate with that artist if he wanted to have digitize his work?
Myself?
Yeah.
Yes, of course. That's my background. That's kind of what I'm good at.
And is this like a monthly software, like, we call it software as a service. Is it like for hotels that digitise artists' work, does just a fee per month, or is it a fee that's paid up front?
It's on final product. So you can create the artwork, or your consultants can, or I can for you, and then whatever you end up purchasing to hang in your various spaces is what you're charged for.
Okay.
Because it's so variable, they're kind of creating their own solution. How do you deal with the pricing? Is that automatic too, or automated, or do you have to sort of manually price each purchase?
So there's a basic copyright that's based on the limited editions of each work. And once that's covered, then the rest is just dependent on production cost, because you might want to print on plexiglass or canvas or paper. So that production's put onto the final cost, and that is obviously project dependent.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome.
All right, it's voting time. Get out your app. Again, skip the first one if it's still there. And I think we're just voting for one. Choose your favorite. And I don't know if we're projecting the results, and I can't see back there. Oh yeah, we are. Okay, you can see the results live. How exciting! 3, 6. All right. We'll give you another minute or two. No, I think we have a conflict of interest. Vote's still coming in. We'll give you another 15 seconds. It looks like it's staying fairly steady now. All right, well, it looks like we have a clear winner. Fergus from Hotel Flex. If you want to come up, we have a certificate for you. Oh, we're signing it. How nice. Congratulations. Why don't you come over and get pictures? Good job. Thank you very much. And why don't you stick around for some photos? We'll get the photographer right here. All right. And thank you all. John, get it from there?
Great. Thank you so much. Congratulations, Hotel Flex. Fantastic product. Really pleased. Thank you so much for all the contributors as well this afternoon. I loved. What did you guys think? Weren't they fantastic?
No, we're doing pictures.
Well, I can still talk while we're doing pictures. What did you think?
the biggest pain point in my life when I travel around the world is identify with arriving at hotels and having to book the night before.
I know, it's a bloody pain,
It's
yes,
a
move
pain.
over.
So I think probably a lot of people in this room identify with that. So well done. Thank you very much.